It's Minecraft Education Edition, and it's pretty fun because you can do things that you would do in school, but in Minecraft, which is pretty awesome. I'm a huge Minecraft fan myself. So we're going to play in a world that's specially made for a math lesson. Right here. And so this whole Minecraft world, or this section of it, is made to teach about area and volume. And so here we are. So this is like a normal Minecraft world, but as you can see, it's already been set up for us. And on this side, it has a formula at the top. V equals L times W times H, or V equals LWH, and that stands for volume equals length times width times height. And so over here is different volume problems. Now on this side might be for our third and fourth graders, something you're more familiar with. This is the area formula. So area equals length times width. And if you see here on the little signs, this one is 1, 2, 3, 4 long, and 1, 2, 3, 4 wide. And 4 times 4 is 16. So that gives us our area. So area is everything inside of a space or a boundary. So inside of this gold platform we see here, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 blocks. And we can represent that by writing 4 times 4 equals 16. 4 rows or groups of 4. So here's a row, here's a row, here's a row, here's a row. 1, 2, 3, 4 rows with 4 gold blocks in each. Over here's some diamond blocks, and in this one we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 blocks total for the area, and we can show that like this. 2 times 4 equals 8, but we can also show it like this. 2 times 4 equals 8 square, and we'll say units because it's not really inches, it's more like blocks. So that's for area, square units. And over here we have redstone blocks. And we have 1 row, 2 rows. And in each of the rows there are 6 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can represent that by 2 groups of 6 or 2 rows of 6. 2 times 6 equals 12. And we can fix that up a little bit and show it by area by saying 12 square units, or 2 times 6, if we want to abbreviate it, equals 12 square units. All right, so here's another one, and this one is just really short. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. So we actually have 1 row or 1 column of 4 blocks. So 1 times 4 equals 4. 4 square units. And here we have another one. So this one is 1, 2, 3 blocks times 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you look at this one, it's hard to tell exactly how many blocks are in there. And one thing that's kind of useful to do is you can check the edge. So I see right here, there's 1, 2, 3 blocks. And at the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how I know it's 3 times 4, even when it's hard to see how long it is. So let's do 3 times 4 equals 12. Ooh, not a minus sign, equals 12 units. 12 square units. There we go. And last but not least, we have this teeny tiny one, and it's 1, 2 times 1, 2 for a total of 4. 2 rows with 2 in each row. There we go. 2 times 2 equals 4 square units. So that's the total area that this takes up. That's how much space it takes up. Now, area and volume are very closely related. Area shows you in 2 dimensions, whereas volume shows you in 3 dimensions. So area is length times width. Volume equals length, width, and height. So let's see how that's a little bit different. Let's start with this one. So right here we can see that it's 1, 2, 3 long and 1, 2, 3 wide. So if we were to calculate that as area, it would just be plain old 3 times 3 equals 9 square units. But that can't be right because this is way more than 9. So we have, let's rebuild this over here just to see it. What should we use? Let's use some of this purple wool so we can see it pretty good. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have the base of it, 3 times 3 equals 9, but remember volume is more than just the length and the width, it's also the height. So how high is this? Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Oh. All right, so let's make this 3 blocks tall. 1, 2, 3. And let's fill it in. So we had 9 on the bottom, then we had 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Let me get the last row. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. All right, so by building that ourselves, we can see that it's 27. Now, when we write this, it won't be just that one row, just area 3 times 3. We'll write 3, because that was how long it was, the length times the width times the height, and the height was 3 as well. So it'll actually be 3 times 3 times 3, also sometimes called 3 cubed, or 3 times 3 times 3, which equals 27. You can break this down a little bit. 3 times 3 equals 9, and then 9 times that last 3 equals 27. And this would be 27 units cubed. Right. Let's try this one out. So this one is very similar. So let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2. So 2 times 2 times how tall is it? What's the height? Times 2. So let's go ahead and write that out. 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 I know is 4, and then 4 times 2 would equal 8. 8. So that would be 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8 units cubed, or cubic units. Here's another one. So this edge is 1, 2, 3, so we have the length. The width is 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 times 4, and then how high is this? 1, 2, 3. Oop. So for this one, we have 3 times 4 times 3. So let's break that down. 3 times 4, 3 groups of 4 would be 12. And then 12 times 3 would be 36 cubic units. And last but not least, we have this giant behemoth right here. And let's see, it is 1, 2 units. long. Its width is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 times 6, and let's see what its height is. Oh no! Its height is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 2 times 6 times 4. 2 times 6 times 4. Let's do 2 times 6 first. 2 times 6, 2 groups of 6 would be 12. And then 12 times 4 would be 48 cubic units. Alright, and this last one is kind of reverse of these other ones. So a lot of times when you're doing volume, you're working with liquids. And here's a little lake. Alright, and let's see if we can figure out the volume of this, because it's a little bit different. So instead of counting how high it is like this, we're going to count 1, 2, 3. That's how long it is. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide. And let's see what the height is. 1, 2, 3. Oh no! I'm ruining it. There we go. So let's write that out. So we had 3 for the length times 5 for the width times 3 again for the height, or in this case more like depth. So let's do 3 times 5. 3 times 5 would be 15, and then 15 times 3 would be 45 cubic units. And there you have it. There's an easy way to remember volume and area. It's fun to practice this kind of stuff in Minecraft instead of on paper, because you can kind of see it a little bit better sometimes. And that's it. I hope you can try this out yourself in your own Minecraft world. It's pretty fun to build weird stuff and try to calculate the volume of it like that. You can build a giant castle, you could build a huge tree house, you could build just a large tower and try to calculate the volume.
Hello everyone, my name is Jason Levy and I'm the music teacher from Campus International School. Today I'd like to share a song with you that I learned from another music teacher in Folsom, California named Mrs. Cantus. So I hope you're ready because we're going to learn a song all about love. So here's our song about love. I'm going to sing it first, so just listen the first time through. Love, 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 mankind, this is everyone's call. Love your neighbor as yourself, for love is all. I'll do that one more time. Love, 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 mankind, this is everyone's call. Love your neighbor as yourself, for love is all. So we're going to break this up into little sections. I'm going to sing a line first, and then you're going to echo after me. So I'll sing it the first time, and then you echo right after me. Love, 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 love. Mankind, this is everyone's call. Mankind, this is everyone's call. Excellent. You've already been able to do the first two parts. Let's try that again. So I'll sing it first, and then you'll echo after me. Love, 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 love. Mankind, this is everyone's call. Mankind, this is everyone's call. Excellent job. Now here's the third line. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love your neighbor as yourself. And when we do that one, we can have our hands come like this. So try that with, so I'll do that first, and then you echo after me. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love your neighbor as yourself. For love is all. For love is all. Very beautiful. So now that we've broken that into our 4 lines, let's try them in slightly larger chunks. So I'm going to do the first 2 lines, and then you're going to echo after me. 1, 2, here I go. Love, 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 love. Mankind, this is everyone's call. Love, 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 love. Mankind, this is everyone's call. Beautiful singing. Now, here's the 3rd and the 4th section. Again, I'll start it. You'll echo after me. 1, 2, here I go. Love your neighbor as yourself, for love is all. Love your neighbor as yourself, for love is all. Very good. And so many of you remembered that motion right there. So let's try the whole thing together. 1, 2, here we go. Love, 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 love. Mankind, this is everyone's call. Love your neighbor as yourself, for love is all. Very beautiful singing. So we're going to try this one more time. This time you're going to sing it. We're going to sing it together and try to remember all of those motions. And if you want to add some other motions, maybe for love, you could put your hands over your heart, or for all, we could go like that. So if you want to add your own motions, that'd be great too. 1, 2, here we go. Love, 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 love. Mankind, this is everyone's call. Love your neighbor as yourself, for love is all. Love, 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 love. Mankind, this is everyone's call. Love your neighbor as yourself, for love is all. What a great job. And please remember that you are loved by so many people in this world, and you can share that love just by singing a little bit every day. So again, I'm Jason Levy, the music teacher from Campus International School, and I can't wait to share another song with you next week. Bye!
Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Mino. I teach over at Joseph Gallagher Elementary, and I'm one of the art teachers there. And today I'm going to teach you an art lesson on how to create your own superhero battling the coronavirus. I made mine after myself if I was a young superhero. And there's the finished product, and I'm going to show you how I started to do that and mix all the colors. So join me for the next 15 minutes. Some artists, like Bansky, show a little boy playing with his nurse doll instead of his Batman and Spider-Man toys. These artists have been inspired by everything that's going on. Some artists create cartoon characters showing and battling against COVID as they slam the door shut on the virus. Some artists from Marvel are actually creating comic books right now, like Kill COVID Volume 19. This is the same artist. So when we create ours today, whether we design a super nurse or a doctor battling and kicking COVID to the curb, we can come up with some really creative ways. So what will you create? We're going to be using Crayola watercolors, small paintbrushes, and some Sharpie markers for outlining. and a drawing paper that's a little bit thicker than computer paper so it'll hold the water. I sketched my design out with a pencil and it took about 15 to 20 minutes. I did it a couple times so that I could get the lines right, and then I am going to be darkening in with a Sharpie marker. You want a thin Sharpie marker so that you can start little and then fill in thicker as you go. So as you're working through your project, you want to make sure it's right before you go in with your marker. It's going to take you about 15 minutes just to do the outlining, and since we don't have that kind of time, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a speed up here. As you're outlining, just remember that we're not here to be perfect. We're here to connect to our artwork and create something that's meaningful. And as we've all been stuck in this lockdown for a couple of months, creating with art is one of the best things that we can do for our brain and to stay connected to ourselves as humans and give us value in what we're creating. So mindfulness when we are drawing is a very good attribute to keep. So here I am, I'm just finishing up the COVID-19 virus, and then we will go into the painting once it is finished. So now I'm going to get ready to paint, now that my outlining is all done. And I'm just taking my 16 pack of Crayola watercolors and some water and some different size brushes. And I'm going to start mixing the paints. And I'm going to be putting this in time-lapse too so that you can see this coming together quickly. And as you create yours, you'll have a lot more time to work on it. One of the things that I wanted to create was a green colored coronavirus. I don't really know what color the virus would be. It's microscopic, and I thought that green was a good supervillain color for this disgusting disease. So I mix yellow and green to create a light to dark effect, and then with watercolor it's great because you can always darken up areas with blue, and you can add more yellows and whites to sides that you want to be lighter. And watercolor is a great forgiving medium. We can always add more or take away. So now I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to start working on my peach color for my skin tone. I always mix yellow and red and a little bit of orange and sometimes brown and white. If you don't have white, it's fine. You can just use more water to make a lighter brown or a tan, or if you have a darker skin tone, go for the dark browns and reds. So I'm filling in, and I'm adding multiple layers of watercolor because you want more than one layer. If you want it really light, leave it one layer, but if you want it dark, you can go in really dark. Just like I'm doing here with the pants. I wanted a really good contrast color, so I'm going to be painting in my pants black, and being a Joseph Gallagher cowboy, we have the blue and white colors, so I wanted to make her skirt blue and part of her shirt blue. So I'm going to add in some darker areas and lighter areas and see, oh, I messed up, so I have to start taking away some of that paint, and we can easily do that with a paper towel. That's why watercolor's the greatest for kids. If you mess up, take that paper towel and blot it up. If it starts to bleed, just put a little bit of paper towel down and it'll come right up. So here I am filling in some more of the dark areas, and I'm working on contrast between yellow and blue. And then I can go in with a smaller brush and do my details of my katana blade. If it starts to bleed again, I can just take my little paper towel and it stops the bleeding. You want to wait in between your colors. If you have to go in black next to yellow, you might want to wait for it to dry because it might start to bleed together and make a mucky color. My eyes are green, so I fill in green in there. They start to bubble up and bleed a little bit, so then I take the paper towel and make it lighter. And with the hair, I have more reddish brown hair, so I wanted to add more red tones and brown, and then I'll go back in and maybe I'll decide, oh, I gotta lighten that up, and then start to add a little bit more dark highlights and shadows, which I really like how they came out. Do the eyebrows, however you want your character to look. Your character doesn't even have to be a human. Your character could be more of a cartoon character, like that last one we saw of the duck. So I'm going to fill in some gloves, and oops, I got some on the paper. Well, that's great. I can just blot it up. a lot of kids like to throw away the papers right away, but you know, with watercolor, you can just go in and put the water down and blot it back up again. See, I did that again. Oh, gotta get that up. I'm going back in with some dark green into the coronavirus, and I'm going to add some yellow in there too. I just want it to look a little bit more gross, so I'm adding a little bit of dark green dots. I'm going to use a Sharpie marker to fill in my sandals. And then I'm going to go with a little red. I really wanted a contrasting color to go with the green, and I really wanted that coronavirus to look kind of weird and dangerous and evil, so I'm starting to add a little bit of dark dots in there, and if they start to bleed into the green, I just take my paper towel and I blot it up and make sure that it's exactly the way I want it to be. So you'll see me blotting up a lot of paper towel. It's not about messing up and hating your artwork. It's more about working through the process of art, because art is a process and sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. So here I wanted to add a little bit more yellow into my coronavirus. I wanted to have a little bit more light and dark shadows. So I'm starting to just play around with the blending of my colors, which it's supposed to be fun. Like, you want to try to blend new colors together. So I'm putting the finishing touches on my coronavirus villain, and then I'm going to start to think about my background and what colors would look good in my background. And I was thinking about making like a red background, so I wanted some type of like a sunset scene. I live on Lake Erie and like the sunset, so I envisioned myself battling coronavirus by Lake Erie. So I just start getting a bigger brush and doing big washes, and be careful when you're going around all of your little areas. You can come back in with a smaller brush. So you'll see I leave some white spaces there and then go in and do the smaller details. And I messed up a lot. Like, sometimes the red would go right into the green and I would have to pick it up with the paper towel, and that's okay. That is the process. All in all, this took me about an hour to make, and for you it might take longer. It depends on how many details you have. So I'm starting to blend in the orange and fading it into the red by crossing the orange into the red and the red into the orange, and choosing where my lines of delineation are, like where I want to stop the orange, and then start moving into yellow. And then again, being very careful going around my little virus and around my fingers. The hardest part was the fingers, because the black of the glove kept bleeding, and then the peach of my fingers, the little tips, would just keep running into the black. So you could probably, next time, maybe I would have done it with a Sharpie marker instead of black paint for my glove. So then I'm starting to fill in my yellow and adding in layers. Watercolor's about layers. You could add 5 layers to make it bright and dark. You don't want to just use the thick paint. You want to let a layer dry and go in with another layer, and just be careful around your details. So as I'm putting the finishing touches on this project, you'll see how the background came out. It did come out exactly the way I wanted it and envisioned it. And there I am, battling the coronavirus, or COVID-19, and I'm really happy with how it came out. So here's the finished project, and thanks for joining me in battling COVID-19.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna talk to our 2 people here. Let's see what's up. Welcome. Welcome to Extinction, a biodiversity crisis. This project was developed in partnership with World Wildlife Fund. Explore this exciting new Minecraft world created by Nature Bites, as well as lessons designed to help you understand biodiversity and its importance to our planet's past and future. Onward. Alright, let's see what the scientist has to say. Welcome to Extinction Minecraft Safari. You're now about to see some of the most charismatic species that have ever lived throughout human history, but are no longer roaming the Earth. Ride the roller coaster back through time and discover how different species have been lost forever. Alright. Oh, let's go get a lot of minecarts. And put them here. And let's zoom out a little bit. And let's go. Alright, so here we are at our first stop, and I see we have a saber-toothed cat scientist, so I'm gonna think that's probably a saber-toothed cat right there. Let's see why they're extinct. 23 million to 10,000 years ago, the saber-toothed cat and other giant animals lived in the American grasslands. At the end of the Ice Age, the changing climate caused massive changes to the ecosystem. These changes in hunting by humans is believed to have caused the saber-toothed cat to go extinct. So that's two reasons it went extinct. The changes to the ecosystem and hunting by humans. So that's interesting. Let's go take some look at this. Here's what they probably would have looked like. Whoa, look at that skull. Those are some serious teeth. I would not want to meet that in the forest. Alright, so what we're going to do now is in Minecraft EDU, you can do something that's pretty cool. You actually can have a camera. Oh, I don't need 64 of them. And a book, and you can actually take pictures and write in your book. There we go, a little portfolio. So let's go ahead and use our camera and take a picture of the saber-toothed cat, and let's put that in our portfolio. So this is saber-toothed cat, and let's write why it was extinct. It went extinct because of hunting and, oh yeah, changes in their ecosystem. So we're going to say ecosystem changes. Oh, we can't see it all. There we go. Alright. Let's head on and check out what the next one is. I hope it is a dinosaur. Let's go. This kind of looks like a big deer or an elk or a moose. It's an Irish elk. Let's talk to the scientist. The Irish elk was one of the most abundant deer that ever lived. Many scientists argue that factors like environmental change, virulent disease, and hunting by humans wiped out many large mammal species during the European Ice Age, including the Irish elk. So abundant right here means there was a lot of them. There was a lot of these deer. And right here it says virulent disease. So the scientist thinks that not only did their environment change, but they also might have had a disease that killed a lot of them, and they were hunted by humans. So all three of those things led to them being wiped out and becoming extinct. There's a skeleton of one. That's some crazy horns. Alright, so let's take our picture. There we go. And let's put it in our portfolio. And this was called the Irish elk. And it went extinct because of let's just say hunting. We know it's humans hunting them. Ecosystem change. And the last one, what was it? Oh yeah, disease. There we go. Alright, let's hop back on. There we go. One of the things that I've noticed that's really cool about this Minecraft world is, I'm not sure if you can see, but this entire extinct animals skeleton is built out of bone block. So for those of you who are into Minecraft, that's pretty cool. Good attention to detail. Alright, let's stick to the scientist. Woolly mammoth scientist. I've definitely heard of these. The woolly mammoth was a commonly found animal during the last ice age. Then, 10,000 years ago, their numbers began to dwindle before eventually becoming extinct. Some believe that a poor habitat as a result of climate change combined with increased hunting by humans led to their extinction. So here's another one where it was hunting and their habitat or their ecosystem changing. So let's take a look at these. Oh look, this is a cave painting. So ancient humans would have made that. Let's take a picture, add it to our portfolio. So here we have a woolly mammoth. Give it a nice caption. Make sure we capitalize those proper nouns. Uh-oh, where did our Irish oak caption go? Oh yeah, I took another picture, didn't I? Woolly mammoth, and it went extinct. Here's another one that went extinct because of hunting by humans and their ecosystem changing. Alright, let's hop back on and see what's up next. A moa. Never heard of this before, but it kind of looks like an ostrich to me. Moa scientist. The moa was a flightless bird endemic to New Zealand. That means it lived there. That's where its habitat was. It reached about 12 feet in height with its neck outstretched and weighed about 230 kilograms. 12 feet, that's really tall. New Zealand had been isolated for 80 million years and had few predators before human arrival. All of the moa were soon driven to extinction between 1300 and 1440 by hunting. So this one's all humans hunting it up. Poor moa. Let's take a picture of the moa. Let's look at its pictures. Whoa, so there's a man, Sir Richard Owen, holding the first fossil of the moa. Look how tall it is. It's like a giraffe. There's another skeleton. Another illustration of one from an artist. Ooh, we're gonna have to back up to get a good picture of this one. Let's see. There we go. And this is the moa. And it went extinct just because of hunting. And let's head back to our minecart. And here we go. Get out of here, minecart. Alright. This looks like a manatee. Stellar's sea cow. So maybe it's a kind of manatee, because I know we call manatees sea cows too. Let's see. Stellar's sea cow was a huge sea cow discovered in 1741. It was found in the Bering Strait between Alaska and Russia. It was quickly wiped out by fur traders and seal hunters for food and to collect its valuable fat. 27 years after it had been discovered, the species was extinct. Wow, less than 30 years after we even knew about it, it was gone. And it looks like from what I'm reading, I don't see anything about disease or their ecosystem changing. I just see fur traders, which were hunters looking for fur on animals. This was back before when you had to make your own clothes. So let's take a picture. There we go. And Stellar's sea cow. Let's put that in our portfolio. We forgot to look at the pictures. Let's see. There's a model of it. Here's fur traders. Looks like they've killed it already and they're maybe harvesting it for its fat and its fur. The skull of a stellar sea cow. Oh, the skull looks crazy, kind of like a bird. Alright, Stellar's sea cow. And that was another one for hunting. Alright, let's hop back in. Hopefully we won't run into any more minecarts. Uh-oh. This one looks crazy, kind of like a penguin. Great auk scientist, a great auk. The great auk was very common in the North Atlantic. Around 1800, the species was under serious threat because of excessive hunting. Not hunting again. The bird was large, meaty, and easy prey. The last pair were killed in 1844, and proves that uncontrolled hunting can wipe out a species in a short space of time. Ah, they're so cute. Great auks. There's a skeleton of one. There's one eating a fish by an artist. Alright, let's get a good picture of the great auk. Put it in our portfolio. Great auk. And it went extinct because of hunting again. Alright. Let's get back on our ride. Hopefully no more crazy out of control minecarts. Kind of looks like a horse. Alright, the quagga scientist. If I'm pronouncing that right. The quagga was a plain zebra, weird, that lived in South Africa until becoming extinct late in the 19th century. The quagga's extinction is attributed to hunting and planned extermination. Wild grass-eating animals such as the quagga were perceived as competitors for the sheep and livestock. So this means that not only did humans hunt them, but humans also planned to kill them all because that they were eating the same grass as their sheep were. So they were farming sheep and different livestock, and because these were also eating the same grass, they didn't want any of them around. So they went extinct from hunting and planned extermination. Ugh. Let's take a look at this guy. Wow, he does kind of look like half zebra, half horse. I think there's another animal that looks like this. I can't remember what it's called though. I think I've seen it in a zoo. Crazy. Alright, let's take a picture of the quagga. And let's check our portfolio. So we got the quagga. And his extinction, I'm just going to write humans. Hunting and planned extermination. Pretty crazy, pretty sad. Alright, let's continue on. Tasmanian tiger. That must be its skull. Crazy. Tasmanian tiger. The thylacine, commonly known as the Tasmanian tiger, survived into the 1930s on the island of Tasmania. multiple factors led to its extinction, including competition, habitat loss, and extinction of prey. They were credited with numerous sheep attacks, which led to a cull to control their numbers. So this is kind of like the last one that was planned extinction. They purposely went and killed them, not for food or anything, but to make there be less of them. So extinction, competition, habitat loss, extinction of prey, it's a lot of different things. So this means that the thing that they were eating, their prey, that they used to survive and eat, that went extinct. So then they didn't have enough food. That's a lot of different reasons. Let's check this one out. Oh, crazy. Look at its mouth. Tasmanian tiger. Alright, let's get a picture for our portfolio. And here we go. Tasmanian tiger. Extinct. Ooh, a lot of things. Extinction of prey. I'm gonna say prey. Gone. Cull of numbers. What else was it? Let me go back and check, make sure I don't write anything wrong. What else was there? I'm gonna go back, look in the text. Oh, competition and habitat loss. Let's add that. Oop. Did I click? There we go. Competition and habitat loss. There we go. Oh, poor Tasmanian tiger. It's pretty cute. Its skull looks pretty fierce though. I think I remember seeing this one on the news. Western black rhino. The western black rhinoceros was a subspecies of the black rhinoceros. It lived in the savanna of sub-Saharan Africa. Poaching is partly responsible for bringing the species close to extinction, along with farmers killing rhinos to defend crops and trophy hunting. It was declared extinct in 2011. So this is a really recent extinction. And it looks like it was basically caused by humans. So poaching, farmers killing the rhinos to defend their crops. So that means the rhinos were eating their crops or maybe trampling them. And trophy hunting. That's when you hunt to take a piece of the animal home, like its skull or its horns. Poaching is similar, but poachers sell parts of the animal. Trophy hunting, you keep it for yourself. Poaching is illegal most places for many of these extinct animals. There's a skull of a female rhino. Look at those teeth. Big horn. You might not know this, but if you see flat teeth like this, it usually means that that animal is an herbivore, and it uses those teeth to crush up the plants it eats. If there's sharp teeth, that's for tearing meat. So you can kind of tell if something's an herbivore or a carnivore using that as a clue. Alright, let's get a picture of the black rhino. Put it in our portfolio. Oop, not black rhinoceros, black rhino. And it went extinct, we'll just say from humans, all the ways. Alright, let's see. Let's get in there and take off. This definitely looks like a turtle. Oh, it's a tortoise. Pinta tortoise scientist. Pinta Island tortoises used to be abundant in the Galapagos Islands. They were almost wiped out by sailors and pirates who hunted them in the 1800s and 1900s. After the hunting ceased, new animals introduced to the area overgrazed the lands until the tortoises lost their habitats. So sailors and pirates started hunting them, and then when the hunting stopped, overgrazed means that these new animals that were brought there by humans, they ate too much of the tortoise's food, whether it was grass, leaves, whatever. These animals ate so much of it that the tortoises didn't have their habitat anymore. Let's check out the pictures. Ooh, not my camera. They look a lot like our tortoises nowadays. Very large. Oh, that one is a dead specimen. Alright, let's take a picture of this one. And stick it in our portfolio. Let's see. Pinta tortoise. I almost always spell tortoise wrong. And that was, again, we'll just say humans. Hunting and bringing new animals in that ate up too much of the habitat. Overall, if we look through our portfolio, you probably noticed, same as I, most of the reasons that an animal became extinct was due to hunting or humans in some way. A few of the animals, their ecosystem had changed, such as the woolly mammoth, but for most part, humans overhunted or changed the habitat for the animals so much that the animals could no longer survive. So you always want to be aware which habits that you have affect animals, because nowadays I'm sure you've seen about the sea turtles and the straws. We don't want to cause any more extinctions just by what we're doing. Hunting's not as big anymore here where we live, but in many places it is. You can find out lots online about how you can help, and even the Cleveland Zoo has lots of resources about how to help animals that are in danger of becoming extinct. And that's all. We'll check out these biodomes some other time. They're pretty cool looking. They have different biomes inside of them. Alright, that's it.
Everyone gets counted. The 2020 Census. Go to my2020census.gov. Get counted. The census counts the population and then decides, based on that population, how much money communities receive for important services like schools, hospitals, roads, fire departments, and police departments. Go to my2020census.gov. Counting the number of people in the census determines how much federal money is allocated for schools. After this pandemic, people realize how important schools are now more than ever. Go to my2020census.gov. Counting the number of people in the census determines how much federal money is allocated for roads, and we all use those. Go to my2020census.gov. Counting the number of people in the census determines how much federal money is allocated for hospitals. Since this pandemic, we are very aware of how important those are. Go to my2020census.gov. Counting the number of people in the census determines how much federal money is allocated for fire departments, We all need those. Go to my2020census.gov. Counting the number of people in the census determines how much federal money is allocated for police departments, and we all feel safer with those. Go to my2020census.gov. So, how do I complete mine? You can complete your census in one of three ways. Go online to my2020census.gov and you can complete your form online. Or you can call 844-330-2020. Or you can mail in your completed census form to the National Processing Center at 100 Logistics Avenue, Jeffersonville, Indiana, 47144. Just do it. Be counted. Be counted. My2020census.gov.
This is CMSD.
I am. Yo soy.
I am Cleveland Public Schools.